All right, good morning, everyone. It's actually my second attempt to make this video. The first time I got distracted by the GPS making a lot of noise. So, we are driving to a job site in the middle of bumfuck nowhere, Oklahoma, where I am going to not get hit by cars while I try to change lanes. There we go. And we're going to be going out to this job site to help install a router, and then I'll probably sit on my butt for about 5 hours while remote technicians do all the programming and configuration. And then my job is to facilitate connection if there are any problems. So I'm just kind of the hands-on guy while these dudes in Brazil do their thing. And obviously it's cheaper to pay me a bunch of money than it is to fly a couple of guys out from Brazil, so that's why I got the job. So sorry, Dad, for drinking a Coke, but it's early and I'm tired. It's been a long couple days. So let's see, I just got back from Istanbul. I spent a week in Istanbul hanging out with one of my cute Russian gamer friends, and we recorded some videos that I'll be editing and putting up on YouTube here probably in the coming weeks. And it was a great trip. I'll tell you more about it in the videos that I have prepared. So that's why I've been kind of out of town for a little bit. I had some business stuff I had to do. I got a lot of work done, and we also had had a good time. And it was overall a very productive but entirely too brief trip. And I'll tell you maybe more about Istanbul later. I've been super busy trying to restructure my business. As some of you may know, the government is actually lying about this being the best economy ever, and in fact, the economy kind of sucks. Inflation's bad, everything's getting expensive. We just had a lady call the other day trying to sell off her and her husband's gaming computers because she just had a baby, she lost her job, and she can't afford to do stuff. And it sucks, everything sucks for people right now. And but you just got to keep on going. So I've been restructuring my business to focus more on retail services, because when the economy's bad, I'm guessing it's going to be a lot like 2008 when the economy kind of sucked in 2008. All the business services scaled back, but regular normal people still need their stuff fixed. So focusing on retail repair, I won't be bouncing back and forth to New York or Dallas as much, because that's kind of dried up for the time being. And but we'll be focusing on like budget builds. We're gonna have a sale starting next week for budget gaming computers. I'm gonna try and build affordable gaming computers in the $500 to $1,000 range, because let's face it, a lot of my friends, a lot of people my age are now having young kids who want to get into gaming, but they don't have $2,500 to drop on a badass system. So you're going to do some kind of budget, and we'll still have the high-end stuff. If you want to spend the big bucks and have me build you something awesome, we will make awesome. We are good at awesome. But we've been working on ways to build more affordable systems, and I think it's going to be successful. And let's see what just messaged me here. I can't read it, so it's not important. Something dinged on my phone, so we'll worry about it later. If it's important, they'll call me. Anyway, so I want to try and find a way to record my thoughts, but I've been so busy working. I made a video a while back talking about friction, how all you have to do is just add a little bit of friction to a system, and suddenly people don't have as much time or efficiency to get things done. And then as you start eliminating free time, your creativity and your productivity just goes down the tubes. The whole reason we have all these advancements in technology and culture and civilization is because people had enough free time to become specialized and make awesome things. During the medieval times, the Renaissance times, wealthy patrons would support intelligent people, Da Vinci and such, to just make cool things. Go forth and make cool things. Here's some money. And it's hard to be creative when you're having to work all the time. One of my theories has always been that if you can stack useful things on top of dead time. For example, I'm going to be driving for like an hour or two out to this job site in the middle of nowhere. I can record my thoughts. I can take phone calls. One of the reasons I got this car, for example, is because it has the Bluetooth for my phone, so I can answer calls while driving, get a lot of work done. Now, obviously, I'm doing I'm using a separate Bluetooth headset for my video recording because I don't want to get in the way of I don't want to fuck around with my car stuff because it's a pain to set up. Let's just be straight up there. But I've had to really focus in on what my goals are. Up until recently, it's been just get my business restructured. We're just about done with that. Hopefully by fall, we'll have the new retail environment built up. We've got cool hangout events at the computer store. For those of you who are not aware, I own Norman Computers here in Norman, Oklahoma, and this is how I paid for college. And I'm glad I kept the business going, because when I was off traveling the world doing consulting work, that didn't take up all my time. I might only be traveling for a few months out of every year, and then I'd come back and hang out at the computer store with my friends. And it's good to have something to fall back on. And I'm glad I did, because when COVID kind of wrecked all of my consulting stuff, or the aftermath, the way the cities dealt with COVID, etc., that wrecked my consulting work. And with all the craziness going on, I'm just happy to hang out and be chill here in Oklahoma. It's weird recording this, by the way, because these are polarized lenses. I can't see the screen while I have my sunglasses on, so if I'm tilting down, I'm just making sure it's still recording, because this is my first time trying out the wireless headset. So I've been restructuring a lot of my business, restructuring my life. It's been very stressful. Those of you who've known me for a long time have seen that I put on some weight. We're going to try and lose that, and I'll kind of go over my strategy for how I want to do that. I've been doing the carnivore keto thing, and that's been really, really helpful, by the way. Of course, I cheat a little bit because my friends like cooking really great food. They'll come over to my house and be like, "Mark, I made lasagna, and Chris's lasagna is awesome." And I'm like, well, shit, I guess I'm going to eat lasagna. Or my elderly friend loves macaroni and cheese, and he's like 97 years old. And he's like, "Hey, Mark, can you make some macaroni and cheese and eat with me?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" Because he's 97 and he's an awesome dude. And macaroni and cheese is not good for me. So I'm going to have to... I'm used to a lifestyle where I'm really active and exercising every day and going on adventures. And for the past couple of years, I just haven't been able to do that. I've just been so busy. So... now that I'm getting through a lot of the craziness in my life, restructuring my business and dealing with some, just some other personal things that have been just wasting a lot of my time, hopefully I'll start having the time to get back to what I want to do. And, I know for a while there I was like live streaming video games every night for fun, which is great. I miss it. But I just haven't had the time. But I'm still going to try and put stuff up at least once a week, and I'll get back to doing more things. I'd sort of rather do fewer but higher quality videos if I can. But, that's more time and energy. And what I've come to realize, just with all the stupid that's happening in this world, whenever you combine really... So, like, people make the mistake of thinking that the people running our country are dumb. They're not actually dumb. I've met some of them. Some of them are very smart. They're just ignorant and arrogant and misinformed. And you can only make a decision as good as the information you have. And when you have really bad information, I have a buddy of mine, we're acquaintances. We went to school together. I was closer with his cousin. We were on the wrestling team together. And, and his cousin was a classmate of mine. He ended up growing up to be one of Obama's assistant legal advisors or something. Really smart, really conscientious, decent guy. Just a really good person. But, he's kind of stuck in his world. And we've had conversations over the years where he just has bad information. So I think some of these people making the decisions, I'm going to be as generous as I can, and I'm biased because of my friend. I'm sure there's a lot of assholes out there running the government too. It wouldn't surprise me. A lot of really corrupt sons of bitches. But even the good people, when they're misinformed and they just have a fundamentally flawed view of reality, they're not going to make good decisions. And I think we're in for a lot of hard times, and we're going to have to be smart and self-reliant to get through it. So, here's what I'm doing, and you can take it for what it's worth. I'm focusing on my local business. I'm focusing on my local community because that's where I can have the biggest impact. I think people make the mistake of focusing so much on the national politics and the national agenda. Look, most of us don't have any control over the national agenda, but we can influence what's happening locally.
In 2 miles, take exit 91 for Oklahoma 74 toward Oklahoma 39 Purcell.
All right, I guess I'm heading that way. I have no idea where I'm going, by the way, so I'm just relying on the GPS. I'm going to focus on my local community and do the best I can here in the Norman area. Because if the rest of the world goes to hell and Norman is doing pretty well, then I'll be okay. And if I focus on helping my community and you focus on helping your community, and we all work on improving our local communities, then we'll still have an overall positive impact. And then we need to focus on getting representatives who represent our values and send them forth to go yell at people on our behalf. Now, I'm not saying don't yell the hell out of your congressman if they're doing something dumb. But let's be real, they're all beholden to big money interests who have a lot more access and influence than you and I do. So I'm focusing on my local community. I'm going to build a really awesome community.
In half a mile, take exit 91 for Oklahoma 74 toward Oklahoma 39 Purcell.
I'm going to build a really awesome local community hangout at my store. We'll make money in the daytime doing technology stuff, and then in the evenings, we're doing hangout stuff. And so far, it's been working pretty well. I haven't been able to put as much time and effort into it as I want, but I've had friends helping me out.
Take exit 91, then turn right onto Oklahoma 74 South.
And as we make this journey, we're going to be progressively hitting smaller and smaller back roads. So I have no idea where I'm going to end up. Something like Ratcliffe
Turn right
City
onto
or something.
Oklahoma 74 South, State Highway 74 South.
Heading towards Maysville. Alright. Let's make sure that we don't hit this car. Thank you.
Continue on Oklahoma 74 South for 24 miles.
Alright, right on. So we're just gonna go down this little highway here. I love driving around Oklahoma. I love the small back roads. It's relaxing. I prefer it when I'm not having to do it for work, but it is relaxing. So, anyway, back to my point. Local community, that's where you got to focus your efforts on. You have to also focus on becoming as self-reliant as possible. Everybody ought to have a side gig where you can make some cash that you're in control of. And I'm going to keep hitting this home over and over again. I'll probably, if this video works out pretty well, and this is more of a tech test than anything else, but if this works out and the quality's pretty good, I'll start making videos as I'm driving to these job sites, or maybe when I'm walking the dog, just to share my thoughts when I'm not so distracted. Buddy, guy named Michael Blackmore, he used to call this windshield time. He did his best thinking when he had a bunch of windshield time. So focus on local community, become as self-reliant as possible. Have a side gig, something you make your own cash. That's a dead animal. That's unfortunate. That you need to exert as much control over your own life as possible, because let's be real, your job is most likely uncaring about your needs. You're probably just a cog in the wheel. And if you work for a small business where they care about you, that's awesome. But they're going to have a lot of external factors as well. They're doing the best they can probably, but you've got to have something that's yours, that you control. So, for example, for the last few years we've been doing our own garden, and I'm not very good at it. My buddy Chris has been helping. We've been growing a bunch of tomatoes and stuff. I'm not a good farmer. I'm not good at that. But it's a little bit. I take home projects all the time, so I do a little bit of side work on my own at night, just to make some extra cash. That's how I'm able to afford a lot of the things that I do. I'm putting my free time and effort into improving my house. I'm rebuilding. I've got a shed that's falling down. The roof blew off in a storm, and it's an old shed and it needs to go anyway, and it's over the city's sewer line, so if they ever had to do some sewer work, it'd get torn down anyway. So I'm building a new one myself, a little bit here, a little bit there in my free time, and I'm making it really nice, and it's saving a lot of money because I'm doing it myself. Maybe not everybody has the skill set to do that, but find things that you can do, learn how to do things that are useful, and do a lot for yourself that improves your life. Make a bunch of small improvements every day. And I'm trying to relax more, try to avoid the stress. I eat pretty healthy, other than this Coke I'm drinking, but stress just tears you up. Stress weakens your immune system, and you need your immune system to fight off all the crap that's out there. Otherwise, you won't have enough energy. You need to exercise, eat healthy. I take my vitamins. I eat a mostly carnivorous diet, meat and vegetables. I've been slowly getting thinner, which is nice. And I'm not going to push myself too hard, but as long as I'm making progress in the right direction, I'm happy. But you can't wait for anyone else to save you, because they're not going to. They're too busy trying to keep their own head above water, or they're too busy trying to rob you blind. I mean, let's face it, one of the reasons we're in all these problems right now is because we've got a lot of corrupt individuals in government and in business taking advantage of the well-meaning individuals. So it's a rough situation. But I think that if we all assert control over our lives, things will tend to get better. My predictions for the future, I think that we're going to have continued economic problems. I don't want to delve too deep into politics, but the people running the show right now are either deliberately screwing America to get themselves rich, or they're incompetent. Probably a little bit of both. And if the other people get in, I think there's going to be so much infighting that I don't know how much is going to get done either. So we can't plan on anybody saving you. Whether you're Democrat or Republican, Biden and Trump aren't going to save you. Biden's barely ambulatory, and Trump is going to have a lot of his own problems to deal with. So you've got to save yourself. But you can do it. You just have to get focused. And how you spend your free time is really, really important. If I look at all the rich people I know who are self-made, I'm not talking about the people who inherited lots of money, but the people who made it themselves, one of the big common factors, there's two big common factors. First off, they learned useful skills, including interpersonal skills. You have to be good at dealing with people, at least to a basic degree. And they spent their free time doing things that created a long-term benefit for their life. Not all of it, but they would do productive things in their free time that would move them forward. Whether it's me taking a project home at night to earn a little bit extra money and get ahead on my work, or studying, learning a useful skill in my spare time, just anything. You've got to pick things in your free time that move you forward. Now, I'm not going to say don't play video games in your free time. Let's be real. It's me. I play a lot of fucking video games, right? But I get my stuff done first, and there's a balance. You have to find a healthy balance. And, so recently I haven't been playing games, an hour or two every night. Maybe I'm only playing games once or twice a week on the weekends. And it sucks, but, I've just been busy enough I don't have the time. But you've got to find that balance, and how hard you push yourself will determine how successful you can be. But you have to find the pace that you can sustain. Like, if I push myself all out all the time, I know I can do that for about a week or two, and then I start to burn out. And if I do that for more than a month, then I'm just useless to everybody. So I know that I have to take at least a couple days each week just to relax and kind of reset myself. And that's what a lot of this trip was also. I got a lot of work done, but I also spent some time just hanging out and just relaxing. I spent some time in this wonderful cafe just eating and chilling. And you have to have a positive attitude. You have to be that happy warrior. You can't... It's okay to be, life sucks, but don't be all woe is me, and instead be more like, life sucks, I'm going to kick its ass anyway. This is one of the reasons I play these games on impossible mode, or legendary difficulty, because life is impossible mode. The universe conspires to kill you, and the fact that we're alive and even have a civilization at all is a miracle. And if you look at all the things that can go wrong, whether it's giant meteor killing us, or nuclear war, or bioweapon, or any of the dumb stuff that can happen, we're lucky that we have what we have. So you've already beaten the odds just by being alive. So be optimistic and go forth and kick some ass. So that's kind of my advice there. It sure is pretty out here. Take time to relax and appreciate what you have. A lot of people have it better than they think. I mean, just because life sucks doesn't mean that you shouldn't appreciate the good stuff. A number of years ago, I was visiting some friends in Ukraine back in 2019, and they were introducing me to this nice girl, and she took me to her house to go cook me dinner. It was very nice. And when I went to use the bathroom, I had to walk down a concrete trail about 300 feet to a steel latrine. I shit you not. There was the only running water in her house was a single sink, which also doubled as a bathtub that was in her kitchen. And I got home from that trip thinking to myself, I have a flushing toilet. I will never be disappointed again in life because I have a flushing toilet in my house. In fact, I may someday have 2 flushing toilets in my house, which will be twice as awesome. And so even if you have it rough, I was talking to a friend of mine, my friend's kid who grew up in Ethiopia, and he was saying that being poor in America is better than anything he ever had in Ethiopia. And so we need to really appreciate what it is we have here in our lives. We're not in an active war zone. most of us at least. And if you are, I'm sorry to hear that. Most of us have decent lives where we're not starving to death. We're not ravaged with disease and famine. And so we have opportunity here in America, even if it's not what it used to be. And so we need to really appreciate what we have and grab onto the things that we have and protect them. Because not everybody has this, and a lot of people want what we have. I mean, why do you think half the world's trying to swarm into America? Because we've got a lot of nice things that they don't have. So we need to appreciate this, and we need to protect it, we need to build upon it, and make things better. You know, not tear things down, but make things better. Start with your personal life, you know, yourself, then your local community, and then you can worry about bigger things. And maybe that's partly why I'm doing the YouTube stuff, is I want to share my thoughts, and maybe I can make things better for a few people. I had a guy call me up, a kid I play video games with. He called me up and wished me a happy Father's Day. I'm not a father, I don't have any kids. But he wanted to call me and thank me for, you know, for just kind of guiding him over the years, because we've been playing video games together for 20 years now, if you can believe it, ever since he was a little kid. And I mean, hell, I'm not that much older than he is. It's just that, you know, I was an adult when I met him, and he was a little kid. And I guess my advice helped him out, and that really motivated me. So hopefully, sharing my experiences with my life and what I'm doing to make myself, maybe that will help other people, and that motivates me. So these are some of my thoughts, and I want to try and be more inspirational. I want to take a more positive, inspirational attitude towards life. I don't want to focus on all the awful. I don't want to focus on the awful things. This is why I don't talk about like the whole Russia-Ukraine mess right now, because yeah, it sucks. The whole thing is a mess. I don't want to talk about the Israel and Palestine stuff. I mean, I'm not an expert in that part of the world, but I know it sucks. So, but if I can share examples from my life on how you can do better with yours, maybe that's enough. Maybe that's enough to make a difference. So never lose hope. Keep on pushing forward. And think about what the most crucial factors are that would make your life easier. You don't have to solve all the problems at once. Here's another piece of advice. Don't try to solve everything. Your life is too complicated. The world is too big. You're not going to do it. Instead, focus on what you can make better in your life. For example, I was feeling tired the other day, and my desk was messy, and I didn't want to do a whole lot. So I spent half an hour just clearing off my desk and getting things organized. It was a very small thing, but it made my life better, and it made me feel good that I accomplished a small thing. You know, and a lot of confidence comes from just solving problems and improving things in your life, accomplishing the goals that you set forth. So, for example, if you're not very confident, pick something that you can achieve and do it, even if it's just washing the dishes. You know, great way to overcome depression, I think. You know, not that I've ever had like long-term clinical depression, but you know, I get burnt out and depressed too. Is I just pick something positive that I can do, even if it's just washing the dishes, even if it's just taking a shower, doing my laundry, mowing the lawn, just anything that I can get done, that I can see, hey, I accomplished this, and now my world is just a little bit better. And I call it the theory of small numbers. A whole bunch of small numbers add up to a big number. If you do all these little things to make your life better, then over time, it will get better. Now, the trick is that you've got to, life isn't standing still. Life's kind of like walking against a treadmill going the wrong way. And if this treadmill is running against you, or trying to climb up an escalator that's trying to go down, is probably a better analogy. So you've got to do a certain minimum just to keep up with what's going on. You know, everybody's got to go pay the rent and pay for food and, you know, sustain your life, right? But if you can do just a little bit more than what you need to do to sustain yourself, you'll start making progress. And it's that little bit more that adds up each time. And that's the secret. It's just consistently doing something above and beyond each day that makes your life a little bit better beyond the minimum that you have to do to sustain yourself. And if you can master that, and if you can become disciplined and create a system where every day you do just that little thing extra, then over time your life gets better and you become more successful and you get in shape, you build a business, you get the girl, whatever it is that you're trying to do. So I hope that helps. And if you watched it this far, then I congratulate you for listening to me ramble for the last however long I've been talking. So go forth and do it. You can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. And maybe I'll think of something else to say and record another video while I'm driving. So I wish everybody the best. I'll have a profitable yet boring day. And I hope you have a profitable yet boring day too, because sometimes interesting days aren't all that good in the long run. So I'll see everybody later, and goodbye. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. You can also check out my website, bobtheorc.com, where you can download a free copy of my dad's book and some other things. Have a nice day. Goodbye.